What's going on, Freakazoids? How's it going? Jeez. Well, I put out another video today that I think hardly anybody saw. It's really weird. It's becoming really disheartening, you know. I think it's got 2,000 views on a whole day just sitting there. It's crazy. I don't know how to get into the algorithm, you know. Maybe I need to put out 6 videos a day or something. I just don't understand, you know. It seems like every day I have the same thing to say. I don't ever have a good report on that. Yeah, I'll catch it later. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just trying out some new stuff. I've got this, I can draw on any, well, it's whatever's being sent out to the stream I can draw on. You know, like I can put stuff out here like this. It's a lot easier to use than it used to be. So we got that. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Nobody watched it, Betty Black. Nobody watched it. I mean, my God, why? I don't know. I don't really understand I thought it was pretty good. And good to see you, Betty Black. I don't know if you were the one that I said that stupid comment a few days ago. Sorry about that. If that was you, I don't remember if... No, it wasn't you. Okay, I think it was somebody else. Yeah, everybody says, oh, it was a good video, but it obviously wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, it hardly got any likes, it didn't get, you know, like if everybody came in and hit the like button, it'd probably, maybe YouTube would go, oh, here's one, look, but it doesn't even get that, you know? It gets like 250 likes with 2,000 views. I mean, if you guys just hit the button, maybe it would work, but it doesn't. So I'm left on here again tonight, hoping to have people support the channel because there's, you know, that video that I put out the other day, the 2 days ago, that was also pretty good. Here, I'll just show you, just so you know. This is how it works. What video is that one? It's the one. Yeah, what do you think happened? You know, this one right here. You guys saw this one, right? You know, what do you think happened? I went through, had the bullet points and all that stuff like that. And then, you know, but then look at, like, you go to the, so if you go to analytics there, look at the total income in 2 days is $18.73. Do you think somebody can survive on that? It's ridiculous. Get this call at the same time, but isn't that crazy? I mean, just look at that. I mean, you spend hours making a video. YouTube doesn't share it with anybody. And it's just, you know, I know it has nothing to do with you guys. I mean, you can't do anything for me, or I'm just letting you know why it's like this. This is why it's so heavily reliant on the people watching. Hey, thanks, Randizzle Randy and Betty Black. I mean, multiply 18 times 30, and what do you get? You get 500, you know, $540 probably, right? And how would we donate $4,000? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how to do YouTube. That's why I kind of want to have like a producer type person who that's all they do is spend time making shorts and editing video and putting them out there, doing this and this and this and this and this. And I just do the shows. I don't have time. Who the hell has time? I mean, these people like Brian Enton and those guys, they have a producer that does all the stuff behind the scenes, and they show up and do their interviews. They're the ones that go get the interview for him. They're the ones that do, and he shows up, does the interview, and then somebody else puts together the video and puts it out there. Whoa, we got a challenge already, you guys. Look at Betty Black. Let's see. So, how about if you do 10 gifted memberships for 10 individual ones? That's the same thing. Can you do that, Betty Black? It's the same thing. Well, we got a challenge right out of the gate here. That's pretty cool. All right, let's see. I think, unless I'm looking at the wrong screen. Nobody did the. All right. Well, thank you. So there you go, everybody. If 10 of you gift one channel membership, she'll do 10. Is that what you're saying? Okay, what is it? Then why put that in there, dead person? Just so we could know. Oh, you're a producer, It's like. All right. Anyways, the video that I put out today, I thought it was pretty good because it's stuff that we had talked about before. But last night it was cool. Finding the little pot that was over there, and it seemed like it was pretty. Significant that the one pot might be the one that was holding open the gate. Like it's right there. I wonder if they dusted that thing. I mean, somebody picked it up. Did you guys see the challenge up there? It's, hey, look at that. Phyllis Watson did 5 all by herself. Now we got 6. Thank you, Phyllis Watson. Yeah, people don't do those, Betty. But yeah, look at that. See, we're already at 7. So thank you, Betty Black. All right, so let me see if I can get how this works well. Let me use a different screen. I think this one's better. And what's kind of cool? Adobe Premiere has an NDI. I don't even know what that stands for, but it allows you to just show the screen from Adobe Premiere right onto OBS Studio. See, so look how big this is. And then I can get in here and I can draw and go, okay, yeah, look, right inside there. And we can get rid of that. And then you can move the video forward even. That was kind of neat. All right, so what do we got now? We got 7 gifted memberships. We need 3 more. And thanks, Betty, for doing that. I was kind of looking at this guy. What's he looking at over here? Or woman, or I don't know what that is. Who knows what they're doing? They're probably just picking something up. One thing I don't like is when I'm zooming in over here and it's not doing that for you. But you can still see it. That's a lady. Yeah, okay. Okay, guys, we need 3 more up there. I always get nervous when it stops. Seems like that's a no-brainer. So then they went inside the home there. I have all of the different helicopter footage too to look at, or like drone footage, I think it was. I think YouTube has a program that makes AI shorts for you. Maybe. Yeah, I think I did see that one time. I think it's rolling out for some people. You know, it's just random. No rhyme or reason. Thanks, Common Sense. Yeah, so I remember that I watched the guy, the garage door opener. It seemed like he was pressing a button right over in like this area. You guys ever remember that one video? So that's probably how, you know, maybe they have a clicker or somebody had to get out and press something. I mean, I don't know. It seems kind of dumb. I think when it's open, you can reach in and press a button and it shuts, but you'd have to have like one of those clickers, I would think. But actually, what I wanted to do is go. I looked at Daily Mail from the first days, and I want to see what they were saying then. Sometimes you can find something that has sort of been lost over time. Hey, thanks, Karen. I think we're up 9 now. We're at 9 now. We need one more, you guys. That counts too. So Karen's counts as one, even though it's, you know, it's just she always does 777. Yeah. That's one of them. So this is the first one I think they put out on the 2nd. Daily Mail. Oh, you can't see it right now because I have the NDI thing on. Now remember how everybody was focused in on the medication and all that? That's sort of been lost. You know, nobody's talked about that for a while. I mean, I don't remember who was reporting that they didn't take the medication. You know, we just know that she was supposed to take medication, but I don't remember who said that there wasn't, like they didn't see it, or it was still at home or something. Hey, thanks, Carol Silva. And Karen W. gifted one. All right, so it says missing mother Nancy. I'm not sure why it just says Nancy. Does not have medication she needs to survive. Worried Today Show host Jenna Hager revealed on Monday, speaking 36 hours after the 84-year-old's disappearance from her $1 million home in Tucson, Arizona. Hager said, "I know her personally, and we want to just report to. We want to just report to that she takes daily medication and she needs them for survival." You know, so maybe that was put out there intentionally to get somebody to, you know, like, oh man, she needs medication. But I don't know if it's ever been verified by any officials that say that the medication wasn't there or was there and she didn't have it. You know, I mean, I guess if she was abducted for ransom, they probably didn't know all of her ailments. You know, they just took her thinking she was sort of a normal, healthier type 84-year-old. I mean, most people that are 80-something have to take various types of medication, right? They didn't take her sleep medications, but yet she was in... What does that mean? Hey, thanks so much up there, Betty Black. That was very nice of you. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody else that helped out around that challenge there. Phyllis Watson, Allie Cake, Wild Bill Wassman, Common Sense, Karen W. a couple times. There's Cheryl Bullock and then Betty Black and Carol Silva. She's without her medication. We are thinking our dearest Savannah and her whole family right now. The morning show made the disappearance of Nancy their top story on Monday. And it said, the FBI is also aware of this case given the nature of what was found at the scene. That's what's got them so concerned. Winter added, we are withholding some details, as we would do with any investigation, to make sure the investigation could go forward without us interfering in it. Guthrie, 54, was not at work on Monday, but issued a statement via Today saying, I want to thank every... Oh, that's weird. I'm actually quite a few years older than Savannah. Hey, thank you, guys. Is there another challenge in there that... Oh, Karen's doing a 5 for 5er. Thank you. Nancy was last seen in the Catalina Foothills area of Tucson around 9:45 p.m. Yeah, so remember how it was at the beginning? There was a lot of this stuff like, wow, 9:45. You know, so it was 9:48 and then 9:50. The garage door opened at 9:48 and then it shut at 9:50. So that was the sort of around that time. And I remember the 9:45, that's probably why the sheriff said that was consistent with that. And then, let's see, no further details of the concerning evidence found. So the concerning evidence is obviously the blood droplets. And it doesn't seem like there's much else that went on in the house that they can see. It looks like, I mean, here's what the nightmare DNA scenario is, that you get inside the home, then you know, the door's already unlocked, then you walk inside the house, you take a gun out, and you say, hey, get out of bed, come with me. And then she just goes out, and then, I mean, you hardly touched anything at all in there. It sounds like there wasn't even a battle, nothing. That the bed looked like, it just like the blanket was pulled back and somebody got out of it. The bed. Hey, thank you guys. Wow. Thank Karen for the challenge there. Very nice. And I really appreciate you guys' support. It's been allowed us to do all these amazing things over the last 6 or 7 years, you know. Oh, I did want to say that I did talk to Jennifer Coffindaffer today. She called me up. She called me, and for some reason I wasn't near the phone, so I called her back later. But yeah, it was you know, it was a decent conversation and everything. I think we might do one of those simultaneous live streams one time, you know, where I'm doing my show and she's doing hers, and then we go over what we think's going on in the case. I mean, I've got along with her personally a few times. I mean, obviously I haven't agreed with everything she said over the years, you know. But she apologized for, you know, she was kind of wondering why even in her head she said the second part of that part. So that's cool. It's better to get along than not, I guess, you know. How far are you guys behind? Drones and sheriff planes have been deployed to try and track her down. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos said the search for Nanos is still being treated as a search and rescue operation, but was unable to rule out the possibility of foul play. So this is just like right out of the chute, the next day here. We don't typically get involved at a scene like this, but it's very concerning. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Today Show. Melvin opened the broadcast by saying Nancy's disappearance was deeply personal to the host and crew of the Today Show. Guthrie is very close to her mother. and has been photographed with her on the set of Today. She regularly shares photos of herself enjoying her free time with her mother. Guthrie's father, Charles, died of a heart attack when she was 16. She has 2 older siblings, a sister called Annie and a brother called Cameron, which we all had seen many times after that. Yeah, that was cool of her to... I sent her a message on Twitter, her Twitter thing a couple days ago, and then she called me back. She didn't know that I knew. I guess it might have been sort of weird on her show when Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick, who's been on my show probably 30 times, she, she's so like, oh yeah, Gray said this and Gray said that, and because when she was on our show a week or so ago, we talked, we went over the whole thing, and I changed her mind on a lot of stuff. And so when she went onto that show, some of the stuff that we changed her mind on were, put on there, and she felt like she needed to give me credit for that stuff. And then it probably was like overwhelmingly positive for somebody else on her show. Yeah, I mean, I guess I might start feeling like if somebody's on here pumping up JLR or something. Oh yeah, that JLR guy, boy, he's really... And I would just, I don't even know if I could contain myself. But I'm not JLR. It just seems like, yeah, probably. It sounds like a load of shit. See, Zozo always says it like it is, Yeah. It's pretty funny. Sounds like a load. That's funny. Yeah, I don't think she realized that second part that she said, though. Anyways, it was alright. Alright, let's get rid of that one. Alright, then the one on the 3rd. Well, I was also going to play some of Nancy Grace's podcast today. That was pretty good. Especially the end.
It's very bizarre. This is a very safe neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear about it?
The first thing that comes to my mind is that this probably is not it's going to be a good outcome.
Hey, we got to almost 55%, just right up there at the beginning of the show there, you guys. I think that's when they had the little Bluetooth thing out. Their original one.
It doesn't appear to be a good situation.
Well, she didn't offer to come on my show. She wanted to do a show at the same time. Yeah.
Of course, we've seen her on television for years, and it's a tragic situation, or it certainly appears to be so.
Yeah, I think they made a sniffer later, but I'm not sure what. I guess they could all be that, but they had a more modified, stronger version a few days after this one. But isn't that weird to you guys that they were using that Bluetooth sniffer, for lack of a better term, right there in the neighborhood? And that's why it just sort of feels like they think that they haven't been able to find or prove that she's even left that sort of area there where I've shown you on a map before what I think. I have to open it up again here. Yeah, except the guy on the surveillance doesn't have a tattoo, so there's nothing to compare it to. Yeah. Yeah, the officer that was arrested had tattoos, but there's no tattoos visible in the surveillance footage. Although people like to claim that, you know. Like they look at this right here, and they say, "Look, oh look, there's a tattoo right here. Look, that's a tattoo." And I don't know what it is, but it's not a tattoo. You know how I know that? For the 700th time on this show is, see how the glove goes all the way down into there, and then it continues down, and then right there, there's sort of like a little bit of a line, and it could just be it's folded right there, okay? Because unless you want to tell me, because there's no skin tone there. I saw people put this picture out there and made skin tone right here to sell the story. How disgusting is that? To show people out there, look at, ooh, it's a tattoo, so they turn it into skin tone there. Yeah, it's just, it's like a shadow. I think it's like a fold in the glove, so it has a dark area there. It's absolutely, this is the same material. That's not skin there. There's no line where the glove ended or anything like that. And then you might say, well, maybe he cut a square hole revealing a tattoo. Okay, well, you know, if you want to think that, go ahead. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Let's see, Bilbo at it again. Bilbo Baggins? Yeah, see, they use this one, and they go, oh, look, tattoos! Really? Where? Is it a tattoo of a box? Who would get a tattoo of a box on their wrist? Come on, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, that was the third. Oh yeah, this guy was kind of interesting. He said almost exactly the same stuff we said. Listen to this.
147, the doorbell camera disconnects. That's a critical.
Except yeah, he's wrong. He keeps saying 238, but it's 228. But other than that.
Moment. 212 software detects a person on a camera. Now you might be sitting there saying, well, wait a minute, you just told me that they took the doorbell camera off the door. According to the sheriff, there are multiple cameras that were at the home.
At least
they
three.
may not have been in a position to record, or they may not have been saving that moment, right. But at least there is a software that says that there's some motion out there. We all have these apps, or we've seen them, that tells us somebody's outside. So that's at 212. And then at 238, the pacemaker app disconnects from the phone. So for sure, Nancy Guthrie is separated from her phone at a moment before 238, because obviously it goes out of range. So it's still connected for a little bit. But we know that the phone, which was found in the house.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, she's 10 to 30 feet from her phone when it went out of range.
According to the sheriff, that Nancy Guthrie is away from the home and away from that phone sometime before 2:38. And of course, you got this question, well, 40 minutes. Yeah. What's with that 20-minute time gap? The cameras gets ripped off the doorbell, but then there's motion seen on the camera outside, 20 minutes later. What's that about? Some people in law enforcement wonder if the person took the doorbell camera off and waited to see if police arrived. Would that alert anything? Would that do anything?
See, that's what we said the whole time. Like, see that? When he took it off, he went
off and waited to see if police arrived.
That's exactly right. Like, he took the doorbell off, waited for police to arrive.
Would that alert anything? Would that do anything? And then perhaps thinking the coast was clear, goes back to the house.
And that's why you get the 212.
Don't know. We don't know the specifics of what camera detected the motion either. 146.
Yeah, I mean, that guy right there, I'd like to hear more from that guy, wherever he is. That guy... Everything he said, other than having the time incorrect, is exactly how a normal, thoughtful person, like just thought through that right there. 212. We, however, got to hear some of the press conferences, so we know that the 212 is one of the two cameras, very likely to be one of the two cameras in the back of the house. And when I say back of the house, I mean on the, if I go to Google Earth here, let's just use Google Earth for now. I don't really mean the back of the house. I mean on this pool house, or people call it what, a casita or something. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah, but right there, and let's see. So there's a camera right there, and there's a camera right over here. So it's one of those two. We haven't heard of any other, and I haven't seen any other cameras on any of the other, the drone footage flying around. I haven't seen anything. But hey, guys, let's see if we can get to get the goal earlier in the show today. That'd be sweet, or at least the minimum goal, and then maybe later on we could have a normal, decent type of night. I think we're currently at about like 60%, which is better than we've started lately. Right. So at least that guy, he thought through that. But at 212, it's going to be one of these two. If one of them's broken, then we'd know which one the other one was. If they're not broken and they both work, then you have to put into your theory, how that would work with both of them there. So he must have avoided one of them. That's how it works. And the one that I would think that he would most likely avoid would be this one right here, because he could, you could actually see that one. If you were coming over to surveil the home on another day, you might walk over here and go, okay, there's a camera there. And then I was actually thinking about, like, after the show yesterday, that maybe he climbed over this. This is so easy, because I remember Jason Bourne was thinking he might get caught up on cactus or trees and so forth over here. And I was thinking, okay, let's just say that then he didn't do that. Then, man, you just walk right by here quietly and then go over this little gate that's right there. And then you just walk over here. And then this gate is something you can just easily walk through. This one right here. So, he would have done something like come over here, walk over, come back over there, and then walk by the edge of the pool, then go into here, and then maybe at that point goes over, breaks the light as quick as possible, but that's when he was filmed, when he's breaking that light, then quickly moves the pot over to open up this gate over here. But what's one of the things that bugs me is I don't really get it that well, why you would prop the gate open. I guess it allows you to keep sprinting, There's no slowing down, but I guess if somebody came to the house, they'd go to here first, and if you came out, so maybe he did that because the car was actually over here somewhere, or maybe there's a place that they would, they might have had a place they would rendezvous at. So, like, if a cop comes in, he goes, okay, boom, boom, and then this guy drives around, let's say like this. Oops. Let me try to show you. It's kind of interesting thinking about that. So what if it was something like, here's the house down here. And then he goes, oh, hey, somebody's coming. And then he's going to meet somebody. But so the guy driving the car drives around, and then over on the street, this guy bolts through these and then picks him up over there, way out of the scene from where the cops are, it could just be something stupid like that. I just don't understand, propping open the gate's weird to me. It's always been kind of weird. I get propping open the back door to get out as fast as you can and then just hop over the fence and you're out of there. But like opening up that side gate, I don't know. It just seems like you're almost putting yourself back into play, Like it's... If cops show up, they're going to pull in here, and then you're going to run out this gate? I don't know. That's just, maybe, and I'm hoping it's not a red herring, that isn't something that was actually propped open. However, it does kind of look like it might be something that was propped open because of that, this video that we were watching. Because later on, when it goes around to the back here, I mean, there literally is a pot right there. See that? And the gate opens up like that, so you just slide that over a little bit and boom, it's open. So I don't know. We could all come up with theories why you do that. It's just one of those things. At first glance, it seems kind of odd that you would take the time to prop that open too. And you know what? Guess what? If he didn't prop open the gate, how much better would this theory be? I mean, it would be absolutely amazing. If you go back to this one again, it'd be so easy, right? Like, let's say that gate was not propped open. Then you have him, let's see, walking around the side of the house like this, goes through over that little pool gate, then around, and then straight into here. He was filmed one time, and then now he's out of view because he's underneath the awning area there, and the wall comes out. See, let me zoom in like this and get rid of what I already put on there. Watch this. See, here is the wall, and if I take this straight line, I can go right from the camera, literally right on the camera, right there, and then it would be like this. That's the view of the camera. Now check it out. The door in there is right here. The door is right there. So he's out of view. I mean, so wouldn't that make so much more sense if there wasn't the gate part? Because then it's just that camera picks him up as he enters in. It's done recording, and then he goes right there, and now he's out of view of that camera. And he's over there, and he just puts some pots with the door open, and then he goes in there, and then he goes out the front door later. See that? I think that works pretty good. All right, who's going to do the next challenge for me in here, you guys? Got to try to reach the goal tonight. Earlier in the show would be great. Six cameras. There's only 3. No, there's only 3 cameras that we're aware of. There might be one inside the home. I don't know. Did this make sense to you, what I just showed you? I need some comments related to what I'm typing. Now, one of the cop YouTubers. Whew, who cares? Man. Yeah, except that's not what they said. I hope that's what it is. But that's what was said when, Annie's the one that told Savannah that they were propped open. And that's apparently what an investigator told Ashley Banfield. Or, so whoever her source is said that too. Yeah, we don't know if they did that or not. I don't know why it kind of sucked, actually, when that was put in there. When it was like, oh, yeah, they propped open the doors, and the side gate was propped open, too. Because then it kind of made it a little messy, What was he going to... Why was he moving around so much in the backyard? And then we only have that one motion detected. No, she didn't. She just said gates. I mean doors, So she mentioned that there were doors. And then Ashley Banfield had already said doors, but then she said the guy also said her source said a gate was also open. She just confirmed that there were prop doors open. All right, you guys. Man, we had such a great start. Now we're on to a lull. It's so easy to climb the wall. It's not improbable at all, man. That's just fantasy talk. Just somebody having an idea and then you can't accept something else. It's so easy to climb over those walls. They're like 4 feet, you know. You just put your hands up, jump, and boom, you're right over there. Especially somebody younger. That's just not wanting to, you know, just having an idea that you can't drop. It doesn't, everything is absolutely likely here, you know. No, he wouldn't know if it was working or not, though, Jason. So it doesn't make sense. You're saying the gate being propped open makes sense if the pool house camera wasn't working. No, it doesn't make any sense. I'm talking about from the perspective of the person. It just doesn't make sense, really. Like, I mean, it might to him, but like our sort of natural thought about them is, why would he prop open that one? He goes into the back. He's just going to go inside the home and get Nancy and bring her out the front door. That's why he removed the front door camera. Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman and Alley Cake. And then he goes out the front door with her. So why would you need to open up that side gate? Not sure. Can you get the link for him to get, Sassy Squatch wanted to buy some coffees. Yes, I know the house with the barking dog. It's right over here. This is the one. I'm the YouTuber who figured out which house had the one where Brian Enton was there. This is it. It's right there. I used Brian Enton's video and was able to, just based on stuff, you know, how I do it, you know, was able to figure it out. I mean, it's pretty close. It's right there. And I guess the dog would have been barking over here. Alright. There's that one. And then the last one I grabbed are these old ones. Chilling photos of Nancy Guthrie crime scene as cops investigate series of ransom notes. Let's see what they're saying about them back then. A chilling photo from the home of Savannah Guthrie's missing mother shows blood spattered on the walkway as investigators probed a possible ransom note. The image showed blood puddled just feet from the doorstep from Nancy Guthrie's $1 million Tucson, Arizona home. It was unclear whether the Ring camera had been removed prior to the 84-year-old's abduction. She was last seen at the house where she lives alone at around 9:45 on Saturday before she was mysteriously kidnapped. And by the way, yeah, like I said a minute ago, I don't know if the person had to jump over anything. Like, maybe this gate wasn't even locked right here. But even if it was, you just hop over it. It's a really simple little gate. Hey, Karen. I've been doing this one for a long time. No. Okay. There isn't 3 on the main house. Okay. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Let's see. Maybe that's why they didn't use the back doors. They heard the doors and people at the neighbor rushed out of the front instead. They heard the dogs and people at the neighbors rushed out the front. Oh, I don't know. No, because they already... Remember, they removed the camera because they were going to be taking them out the front, right? So even if there was, dogs barking and everything. They were still going out the front anyways because they removed the camera so that they could pull the car right in there. It's a much shorter moving of Nancy too. I don't know. I don't think he thought about, he's only got one door open and a gate was open. And when I say one door, I mean one opening had two doors on it and both of those were open. Then the gate was open. That doesn't help allow to hear something. I think he had the back open for an easy escape, right? The longest, I don't know, Idaho 4, that was like 3 years. Delphi is probably the longest. I mean, that was like 7 years, right? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe that's why they didn't use the back doors. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, here's the thing, Phil. So I guess if they were there earlier, then we're all thinking, like even before 147, maybe that could have changed their mind. But 147 was when they removed the camera, I think. I mean, that's how I have it. At 147, the doorbell camera was disconnected. It's no longer in play. It's not being used for anything else. I'm not sure what are you referring to, Karen, when you say 3 cameras on the house? Where is it? There's been no other mentions of, or nor has there been any visible signs of any other cameras. Did you take off, Phyllis? I thought we're gonna have a conversation. Come on, Phyllis. Yeah, we're currently at 66% of the minimum nightly goal, you guys. It doesn't look like there was any. I didn't see any problems with the perp at all, his leg. Why do people always think they see stuff like that? Delphi, remember that? Oh, he's got a limp. He's limping. There's something. And it's just not the case, man. You can't see anything. We're just looking at a really small, minute video. If you got to see him walk for 100 yards straight, you might see something. Right, I said that. 1, 2, 3. Look. There's 1 right here. Doorbell. 2 here. 3 right there. Where are the other 3 that Karen's talking about? I know, but you said that there's... That's not what you said, Karen. I'm going to go up and... You said, Gray, I count 3 on the main house and at least 2 cameras on the side building. Did you read what you said up above? You said the exact opposite of that. That's why you made me spend time on that. Now you're saying there's 3. Yeah, I've known 3 the whole time. Right? You said, though, 3 on the house and then 2 on the other building. Never mind. I don't know what you're saying yes about. I don't know what you're saying. You incorrectly wrote above. Let's see. I don't understand what you're saying at this point. Hey, Sassy Swatch, thanks for the coffees. By the gate. Propped open the gate doors. But why'd they remove the front camera, though? Then pulled the car in by... Why would they pull it by the gate if they removed the front camera? Propped open the gate doors. Then heard dogs at neighbor. Driver radios inside to tell the other guy to go out the front instead. But then why did they... So they just remove the front camera just in case that they have to... I don't know. I guess. anything's possible. We've seen. So you're saying, what do you mean the car might be seen pulling in? You said that they opened the gate so the car would pull up onto the side. like they weren't even going to use the front camera. You know, when you're coming out, it doesn't look at when you come out, you can just pull all the way down to the street and turn. You know, I guess maybe if they thought, okay, right in this little spot here, I mean, it's really difficult, right? I mean, you go like that, there's through the trees, and then right here, I don't know if, I can't even, I think it's right there. I think it'd be really difficult, but who knows, right? Who knows? That would kind of explain why you would do the like you'd have this one and this one, because they originally were going to take her out the back, and then I guess that kind of makes some sense. Oh, well, that's what you just typed in just now. So you have the gate open here, and then you have door open underneath here, and then that's where they were going to originally take her out. But then, how come there wasn't surveillance? Like, it seems like this camera would have said it detected a motion of something at, 150 or something. Yeah, it does make sense. It's just that, see, this camera here causes problems. Maybe they wouldn't tell us something like that, because remember they did say it detected a person at 212. But maybe there's another camera that picked up it wasn't a person. But yeah, it does explain, like you would have this gate open. You would prop open these, because you plan to take her out that way. But then you changed your mind, because maybe they were maybe they were planning on driving out like this. I don't know why you do that. It's easier just to kind of pull out there. I don't know. Something to think about, I guess. I know. We gotta be able to. Hopefully, we could rule out one of these cameras sometime. But hey, guys, we're hitting these massive lulls now, so it's gonna get it's getting more difficult. So if you guys could please do a couple, we need about 2 more challenges would get us to the minimum nightly goal. Alright, so if you guys can do that, that would be great. Maybe 2. I don't know, we're just... it started off so good, and then it just went... yeah, That is kind of weird, because I mean, I remember when the doors were open, your brain thinks, oh, well, they would move her out the front. But everything... out the back, and then into a car. But then when you think about it, it's like, okay, well, at 147, he literally went there to remove it. So it seems like they already knew that they were going to be removing her out that front door, or at least parking their car right here. But I guess if you want to say that their plan was to come down and then take a hard right and go like that, you'd have to remove it too, but why would you do that? I mean, it's just so easy from here to pull out and go this direction and then turn right or left. Anybody? Any new challenges out there? Right. Yeah.
Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie. What can that be? Door cam. You name it. from Jan 11. And joining us right now, a special guest, it's Ari Redboard. Ari Redboard is the Global Head of Policy, Government Affairs, TRM Labs, the Blockchain Intelligence Company. He is a former Assistant U.S. Attorney in the D.C. jurisdiction and former Senior Advisor to the Undersecretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence. You can find him at trmlabs.com. I want to talk to you about what we are learning tonight, that there are other images. They're trying to save them as we go to air tonight. How can that be?
You know, Nancy, it's extraordinary. And when I first saw those videos a few weeks ago, it took...
So is there another, when was this interview? This seems kind of... Yeah, no, it says day 62, so this is now. Are there newer images that are out?
My breath away. This idea that there could be no subscription, the actual camera could have been disabled, and Google is still able to generate these really extraordinary, chilling images, just to me speaks to the ability of the private sector in many respects. Here, Google
Thanks, Sassy Squatch.
is the example to have just an extraordinary amount of data that can be used in these cases. Look, I think if and it'll be when this case is ultimately solved, it will be because of the digital evidence in the case, whether it's cryptocurrency tracing or whether it's this type of evidence from Google. And to me, it's just extraordinary.
Ari,
I mean, are they still, I think they're still trying to track back those first two crypto accounts on the first two emails.
how are they doing it? And if
It was the same account on both emails.
they are doing it, why don't we already have it?
Look, it's really hard to say. They're obviously they obviously have.
Yeah, I'm trying to just get to what the guests are saying.
This data in various servers. You know, is it taking significant time to find it? Likely. I quite frankly can't believe that it exists at all in many respects. And that's why I said when I first saw this video, it really took my breath away. The fact that we're now able to get this type of information, even without a subscription, even when this machine is disabled, it ultimately could be what cracks this case.
Okay, Ari Redboard, you are the expert. I hate to throw you in the same pot to stew with Nanos, who said, yeah, there's no video, she didn't have a subscription. But yet, there is. And we're learning there's more. And they're trying to rehabilitate it, resurrect it right now.
That'd be cool if there's, actual more video. I don't know.
There is more video. Now, do you believe, after your extensive work as an assistant U.S. attorney in D.C., that they have video and they're not releasing it for some reason?
Law enforcement is very usually thoughtful about the way they release information. Here they released that initial video because we needed an image of this individual to put out there in the world. They have that image out there. Assuming there's not a better image of this individual, then maybe these are really critical investigative leads that you don't necessarily want to share with the public. Law enforcement is always thinking about, what do we need to put out publicly?
So I think he was trying to bend the, he was kind of going like this, trying to make something like a little loop to pull on.
To help our investigation from a crowdsourcing perspective, and what should we be holding?
Yeah, but I looked this up, watch. I looked this up today. I said, Nest camera, my Nest camera subscription ran out. Will it keep recording video? Yes, your Nest camera will keep functioning and recording, but with significant limitations on what it saves. When your Nest Aware subscription expires, the camera reverts to a free tier that primarily focuses on live monitoring. Here's what happens to your recordings. 3-hour event history. Instead of 30 or 60 days of video history, you will only have access to a 3-hour rolling window of event video history, right? This means you can only view clips of motion or sound events that occurred within the last 3 hours. Yeah, well, that's kind of interesting. I mean, if she had it set really sensitively, it might have started copying over the other ones. Oh, Phyllis, we have a 5 for 5er? No way. Hey, look at that. We do. We have Phyllis Watson with a 5 for 5 challenge. All right, freaks. If 5 of you can gift 1 membership, Phyllis will do 5. Thank you. Hey, thanks, Allie Cake. So 3-hour event history. Instead of 30 or 60 days, that's just 3 hours of rolling. Okay, so that I think that's what the problem is. You know, in that 3-hour period, like by the time the next day happened, you know, I don't know how long the videos are or whatnot, but you know, if a car drives by and this and that and the other, it's gonna it'll use up to 3 hours, but it doesn't completely ride over. So what it probably is like, even if it only had, so it probably had a full 3 hours on there. Then when the motion happened at the front door, that video rode over some little area of the 3 hours that are available. And then, so there's all this other crap that's been on there for a while. And then they have to go out and sort of, you know, if it hadn't been written over, find little chunks in there. That's pretty crazy. That'd be tough. Hey, thanks, Allie Cake, Jim Lawn, Betty Black, Wild Bill Wassman, the legend, the legendary bass fisherman. He's right up there with Bill Dance, Roland Martin, and who was that other guy? Oh, yeah. Bill Dance, Roland Martin, and Jimmy Houston. There you go. Hey, we need 1 more gifted membership. All right, so over here it says, no continuous recording. You will lose all 24/7 continuous video recording capabilities. So that means the camera apparently would normally have the ability to record 24/7, but now it can't do that. I mean, what a travesty that is. Let's say she had that set up where it was 24/7 but just didn't pay the bill. Imagine what that would have picked up. No longer term cloud storage. Any footage older than 3... Oh, wow. Look at this, you guys. So here it is. Any footage older than 3 hours will be deleted from the cloud, and you cannot go back to review it. See, that's it right there. That is exactly what happened. So even though you do have 3 hours you could look at, if you waited, so in the morning time when they get there, it's all deleted. So they had to go out, and then if any other motions happened, it would write... like it would write over those little segments, and they found some of those. Any footage older than 3 hours. So it's like a rolling 3 hours, right? That's exactly what they said. Man, that makes that really complicated. Hey guys, we're looking to get 1 more gifted membership up there to reach the challenge by Phyllis. I think that's pretty interesting. No long-term cloud storage. So up here it says 3-hour rolling window of event history. So that means, let's say at 1:47, right? Well, at 3:47, that's already deleted, and it's available to be written over by something else. And they had to go in there and remove it. Oh, you're actually friends with them? Oh, cool. I felt bad for Jimmy Houston when him and his wife. I think his wife. I'm not sure. She had like a stroke or something. I don't know if she's still alive or not. Hey, thanks, Phyllis. That was very kind of you. Thank you. And thank you again to Wild Bill Wassman, twice there, Betty Black, Jim Lawn, and Allie Cake. Now she's getting back to normal now? Okay. Cool. I like him. Have you ever watched that Lake Fort guy? I think it's like Lake Fort guy. He has a couple of the best, or one, probably the best bass video I've ever seen. I mean, it is just. There's three videos that are the best that I've ever recorded. You know, this one guy, he's got a topwater frog, and he's reeling it into the boat really quick because he's going to cast it. And on the retrieve, when it's going like 5 miles an hour in the water, a 10-pounder comes up and hammers it, and he catches it. No, she's not normal. Okay, let's see. Now, so you probably know. How about John B? All those guys. Yeah. I watch all of them. Well, I know you work in the industry. I just wasn't sure, like, you know, those guys seem like the Guggen people have their own stuff. Yeah. Oh, you do all the Guggen? Oh, sweet. Yeah. I just said Guggen too, right before you typed it in on my end, but you probably thought you typed it in before. Anyways, wow. So this is it's making sense now. Do you guys see what I'm saying here? It's so you got 3-hour event history. That's all you get if you don't pay your bill. Instead of 30 or 60 days of video history, you will only have access to a 3-hour rolling window. I mean, that's crazy. And that doesn't mean like it's 3 hours of video rolling. It means that's your window. Like, so it's like this thing that keeps moving along like this. And so even if there's a whole bunch of motions right over here, those are all gone. And now you're in a new 3-hour window. So you don't have those anymore. So you've lost them. You don't get to, like, if you stopped recording the camera, you wouldn't still have access to those 3 hours in 4 hours, right? Because it's a rolling window. It's gone. That's crazy. So you only have 3 hours to look at something. And then as soon as the 3 hours is up, it deletes it. And now that's what Google has been going in and trying to fix those, because some of them have been written over in the next rolling 3 hours. So at 1:47 in the evening, when the guy went to the front door, let's say that's at the 2-hour and 40-minute mark of a rolling 3 hours. And then it's rolling, right? So then it doesn't really matter about what segment it is. It's every moment is 3 hours away from being deleted. All right. So at 1:47, that means that video is going to be removed at 4:47. That video is gone. It's deleted. That means that video that we saw was likely deleted at 1:47 or 4:47 in the morning, and then, you know, likely a bird set it off. It doesn't really matter, other than any other motion recorded in the next rolling hours and hours and hours would rewrite over the same place on the drive as where the doorbell camera footage was. So the longer you kept that up there, the more stuff was written over the videos that had already been, you know, up there. Like if you had a solid 3 hours of recording, it would wipe out every, let's just say you did this. Let's say at 1:40 in the morning there was these things, and then 30 minutes later there was another movement. Okay, and that would have been okay. But let's say you got up in the morning and just stood in front of the camera for 3 hours waving at the camera. It would record almost like the whole 3 hours and wipe out the entire. You wouldn't be able to recover anything. But in this case, there's a little bit of movement here, a little bit of movement there. Probably when the family came over, they went there and, you know, set it off a little bit. And so that cut up, got rid of about some time frame. And then when the cops got there, that's going to do that too. And man, what a nightmare that is. That's crazy. I just explained it, Big Darren. Yeah. Right. So anyways, it says the long-term cloud storage, any footage older than 3 hours will be deleted. See that? So that's like every second something's being deleted. It's basically going like this. Delete, 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 delete. It's deleting everything behind itself. 3 hours behind the edge. It's like it just keeps deleting and deleting and deleting and deleting, but then recording anything new. If there just happens to be something in that 3 hours, it'll record it, and then that's gone 3 hours later. Every moment is gone in 3 hours. Does that make sense? What you can still use, you can still view live streaming, so you can just watch it. Like if Nancy was awake, she could sit there and watch it. And you can still get your motion and sound alerts and save, download any clips you created while the subscription was active. Okay, so you still have access to your older. That's kind of, see, that's all interesting, this whole thing. That's why I got this. No, Betty. Hey, Betty, let me explain it. Let me explain it one more time. Let me see. I don't know how to do it. So let's just say this. If there's, it keeps delete. Every moment is deleted 3 hours later. Does that make sense? So you could have just 2 minutes of recorded video in a 3 hour period, and it's all gone 3 hours later. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's all. That's all. The only way I can explain it is every moment that's recorded is deleted 3 hours later. No, you're. Let me say it again, Betty Black. So every moment in time, whether recorded or not, anything recorded in that 3 hour period is deleted after 3 hours, and it's rolling. So it's like it just. Like you could have a video clip, and the first hour it's an hour old, then it's still sitting there, and then it's 2 hours old, and then 3 hours old, boom, it's gone. So that's why I'm saying every moment that's even on the camera at all is deleted 3 hours later. It's a rolling 3 hours. So you have a video clip, and then 3 hours later, that clip is gone. But then 2 minutes after that video clip, there could have been another one. And then 2 minutes after that last clip was deleted, that one's gone too. And then it just keeps going and going and going. And then it's available to be written over in the next 3 hours. So it's like it's just a constant, not even just the next 3 hours. It's always a rolling 3 hours. It's constantly deleting and recording and deleting and recording, if there's any motions, that is. But even if there's no motions, it still deletes everything that happened in the last 3 hours, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. I mean, they were set up sort of perfect for security. I think she just says that. I mean, who would... I don't know, man. I mean, that could be all she ever used it for. Like, oh, look, these security cameras pick up. But when it was set up, it was obviously done like, let's film the driveway. A car might pull up here, or anybody sneaking in the backyard, and then the front door camera. You think what? Right, like she probably didn't become worried about it and didn't pay for it. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Well, it's not just differing on, Betty. I'm telling you what the reality is. It's not a differing. I'm reading it right here. I know what this means. Okay, let me just try to explain it another time. Okay, it's the cameras. Anytime there's a motion, the camera records it. It still does that. However, 3 hours later, it's gone. That same recording, and anything that it recorded after that, it's gone shortly after that. And then it just keeps rolling along. It doesn't store it. No, it isn't. It isn't that. It's not 3 hours. I get what you're saying. Like it stores 3 hours of video, and then it deletes another one. But that isn't it. That's not how it works. Hey, thanks, Chris O'Cuddle. Wow, very cool for the 10 gifted memberships there. Yeah, it says it right here. Look at it. It says 3-hour event history. Instead of 30, let's go right here. It has an access to a 3-hour rolling window of event history. Now, originally I thought that was, okay, so that means there's video and then 3 hours of video could be on there and then it starts deleting the end of it and then it kind of goes like this. But that isn't what it means. Because down here, this is where the answer is. Any footage older than 3 hours will be deleted from the cloud, and you cannot go back. So that's actually what they're referring to up here. Yeah, it says right here, 3-hour rolling window of event video history. Right. That means during the 3-hour period, if there is video or any kind of... Let's say it's at 1 o'clock there's a video, and then 1:20 there's another little video, and then at 2:10 there's a video, and then all the way up until 3:59 there's another one. Okay, those are there. You right then you can go back and watch those, but then 2 minutes later you lose the one that you filmed right at 1 o'clock. That's gone, but the other two are still there until 3 hours goes by on the second one, and then that one's gone. Then the one that filmed at 4 o'clock or 3:59, after 3 hours goes up, that one's gone too. It's deleted now. Well, but it is. It does it right here. See down here? It says, any footage older than 3 hours will be deleted from the cloud, and you cannot go back to review it. And up here it says, 3-hour rolling window of event, in video history, it's rolling. This means you can only view clips of motion or sound events that occurred within the last 3 hours. See, that even explains it really good there. So in those 3 hours, there's this, you can go watch those really quick. But if you wait 15 more minutes, you won't be able to ever view the one that happened 3 hours and 1 minute ago. That one's gone. Yeah, so that explains it well, and then it sort of backed up and verified down. Let's go see what it says down here. The 3-hour, some older Nest camera models may not get any free video history, offering only live feed and in some cases still image snapshots of activity. That's sort of interesting. That's kind of what I think we have sometimes. According to some user experiences, the 3-hour event history applies specifically to newer cameras like the Nest Cam battery, Nest doorbell. I think this is what she has, and some newer wired models. If you okay, yeah. Well, they're lucky that somebody, so basically after the killers went out, the camera at the front wasn't there anymore, so that video got stored on the cloud. And then there's 2 back cameras. So it's only when like investigators got there and started moving around would those motions start affecting, because they would start writing to the cloud, but they probably write inside of that same 3-hour sort of parsed out piece of info, I don't know if that's how it works. There could be a larger sort of allocated piece of information on a drive somewhere, or not piece of information, an allocated area on a drive where it keeps track of the 3-hour, rolling 3 hours. Maybe we should go open up ChatGPT on this thing. All right, let's try it, Betty. How we can do this? Let's see. The ring or the Nest camera rolling 3 hours if you don't pay your bill. Can you explain that? Let's see if it can do it.
Yeah, this one trips a lot of people up, and it sounds worse than it actually is. Let's break it down cleanly. What 3 hours of rolling video actually means. With a Google Nest Cam without a subscription, you still get 3 hours of event video history. Not full continuous recording. Key points. The camera is always watching, but it only saves clips when something happens.
Right.
Motion detected. Person detected. Sound detected. Those saved clips are stored for up to 3 hours. After that, they're automatically deleted.
Boom, there you go.
What
See?
you do not get without paying. You do not get 24/7 continuous recording. Long-term history.
So that pretty much says it right there, right? So the camera's always watching, but it only saves clips when something happens. Motion detective, person detective, sound detective. Those, see, that's what's interesting, right? Because that's what he referred to. It recorded a person, but I guess it could have been an animal. It didn't say, so maybe the motion detected one is different. Maybe, you could maybe think that that's how they figured out how the garage door opened at 9:48 and 9:50 by that one camera. But it says those saved clips during that time frame are only stored up to 3 hours. So every clip is only stored for 3 hours. That's how you look at it. What do you mean that's what you said? I've said the same thing the whole time. It stores the same. It only stores a clip for 3 hours and then deletes it. That's what I've said the whole time. And it's rolling though, right? So you have 3 hours to watch a video once it's recorded. If you don't watch it or save it or do whatever you can do in those 3 hour, that window, it's gone. And it keeps rolling forward throughout the day. So even if you have 10 seconds, what do you mean no? Why do you keep saying no, Betty? I know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not. It's stored up to 3 hours, not 3 hours. I mean, when you say 3 hours, what are you saying there, Betty? It doesn't store 3 hours of video time. It's saying it only stores a clip for 3 hours. So you could have 10 seconds of video, and that's only going to be there for 3 hours, and then it's gone. Okay? And then if there was another clip 10 minutes after that, you'll be able to watch that for 10 more minutes, because then it's gone. No, it's not. It's just you only have 3 hours of time to watch any clip. You could have 8 seconds of a video clip, and you cannot watch it. I know. I'm sorry, Sassy Squatch. I don't know if I can explain it any better. All right. I'm gonna. Let's see. All right, Sassies. I know you disagree, but okay, it's okay to disagree. I know what I'm talking about, though. Yeah, it's rolling though. Lord Isking, it's actually a rolling 3 hours. So there isn't like in 3 hours it deletes and starts over again. It just keeps moving along for 3 hours. So if you have a clip that's 10 seconds long and another clip that's 30 seconds long, and those are the only clips that recorded during a 3 hour period of time, in 5 minutes you will never be able to watch the first one again. And then let's say the other clip was 20 minutes after the other one. In 20 minutes you'll never be able to watch that one again. It's deleted. That's how it works. It doesn't store 3 hours of footage and then start clipping off the end clips. All right? How about, hey, Sassy Squatch, why don't you explain it? I know, the rest of you get. I'm sorry. I always get frustrated when I feel like I explain something really well and then it just doesn't land, you know. Anyways, I did look that up for you guys because I thought maybe that would be pretty interesting. I think I need a drink. I don't even want one. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was still checking out. Let's see what some more of these people were saying in the...
Who was in this location at this time based on this Nest Cam footage. And they're really trying to triangulate. Now, there's likely a lot of people who were in this general location. And that's why we've seen some of these stops. But the reality is those are going to continue.
Ari Redboard, you told us previously that you would need to see a substantial sum of money transferred from the Bitcoin account in order to track it. Well, I disagree because I think there are other ways to track it, but that's just me. When you say substantial, how about a small amount of money? Why do you need a substantial amount of money to track the Bitcoin?
You need any amount of funds going into the account. However, what you're ultimately going to see there is likely funds going from an address control.
I think I should have tried to put I'll tell you what, we'll give you a little bit of funds and put $100 grand in there and see what happens. Maybe they would have opened it up
By the family or by a representative into that alphanumeric Bitcoin account that's in the ransom note. But that's all you'll see. Really, what's really critical is what happens next.
Hey, Darren, you're wrong, man. Okay, you're wrong. You guys are absolutely incorrect. All right, just letting you know. I know that you always try to be contradictory for the sake of it. That's not how it works, man. She's still not understanding what you're saying, Big Darren. Okay, she's not understanding what you're saying. She still thinks what you said sounds like what she was saying, but I know what you're really saying. Okay, it's incorrect.
Where does that address, that ransom address, send funds? Do we have attribution? In other words, have we associated that address with any illicit activity before? And then the real key happens. The breaks in these types of cases happen when funds go to a cryptocurrency exchange to cash out, right? Because the reality is that you can't really buy Bitcoin to buy anything in a meaningful way today. You need to convert it to more usable, cash, to currencies. And that's the key, because that cryptocurrency exchange has that underlying user information on the account, the name, the social security number, email account.
I don't want. You know what? I got to stay on this thing. I'm sorry, guys. I really don't. If you want to leave, because I'm going to explain this until somebody gets this thing. This thing, Big Darren here, is off his rocker too. Okay. These people. I don't know what it is. If it just doesn't seem to be working with your brain or what's going on, but it says right here. It says, what is 3-hour rolling window? It says, the camera is always watching, but it only saves clips when something happens, okay? So it only saves clips when something happens. And then motion is detected. So let's say it recorded a motion at 1 o'clock. Just pay attention for a second. It records a motion at 1 o'clock. Then it records another motion at 2 o'clock. And then it records another motion at 3 o'clock. And then it records another one at 4, let's say 3:59. All right. And it says and then it says those saved clips are stored for only 3 hours, not 3 hours of video. It says those clips are stored for up to 3 hours. That means that those clips that I just mentioned, the one at 1, 2, 3, 59, are only stored for 3 hours total. After that, they are automatically deleted, and it's a rolling time, so it rolls across. So if you have a clip at 1 o'clock, and then one at 2, let's just make it easy. One at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 4 o'clock. All right? Once you get to 4 o'clock, the one at 1 is gone. The one at 2 o'clock is still sitting there. The The one at 3 o'clock is still there. Once you get to 5 o'clock, the one that was filmed at 2 o'clock is gone. And that's how it works. It doesn't store up to 3 hours. It doesn't store 3 hours of video. See, Timothy, you just typed in up to 3 hours, Betty. So that's not even correct either. It's just, it only, in a 3 hour window, you're able to watch any clips that may have occurred during that window. If there was a clip that happened 2 hours and 59 minutes ago, you can still watch that one that was filmed right then, but then 2 minutes later, it's gone. It's completely out of there because it's rolling by. No, it doesn't rewrite every 3 hours. It rewrites constantly. You only can watch 3 hours. See, it's always rewriting. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know why it's hard for me to... I don't know, man. I mean, maybe we can just do something like in here. I mean, and just pretend. I don't know if you guys can even see this right over here, but see this window, this thing right here? Here, I know what I'm going to do. I can make something that looks kind of like what you can see. Let me get this off the screen. Hey, wow, thanks. Carissa Cottle. How's it going? Haven't seen you for a few days. And thank you very much for your generosity. All right, I'm going to give you guys a good example here in a second. All right. It'll look pretty cool. And this is just going to be representing a motion. All right. You see this? Okay, just pay attention for a second. Don't go, hey, Gray, what about this? Just listen. This is going to make sense. This is going to make sense. Listen to me. See this down here? This clip at the bottom? That's 3 hours of time. Let's say, right? But during those 3 hours, these things above it are clips that were recorded of motion somewhere. All right? You see that? Just kind of look at it like that. I mean, I'm hoping you guys can see this, but pretend that that's a motion, and that's a motion, and that's a motion, and that's a motion. The 3 hours is constantly moving along like this. So once the 3 hours moves over to here, these two are never able to be watched again. They're deleted. But then there might be another motion over here, another one, right there. Might be another one. And then as soon as this 3 hours it's rolling along, it goes to here, you can never watch these again. Now in the middle of the night, there might not have been any motions at all, except you had that one at 1:47, right? Then when he leaves, and he's gone, and then the next day, when the family shows up, this thing is long off of this one. This thing is way over there. It's gone and gone over here, and then the family shows up, and then maybe there's a motion here and there, and they wrote over an area on the hard drive, so they have to see if any of these wrote over the motion that was over there. How was that? I think this was a good way to explain it. You guys get it now? This thing is always moving. This right here is 3 hours. That's rolling. I don't know if you know what rolling means, but it just keeps moving along. So you have 3 hours, like for example, let's just use one clip here really quick. All right. Let's just do it again. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. So let's say this is a 3 hour window and a motion is detected right there, right? Then as the 3 hours start rolling by, however, you can move it any direction you want. Let's do it the same way I had it. So let's say it's right there. That's when the start of the 3 hours is, right? Then the 3 hours comes and goes. Now it's about an hour and a half in. You can still watch that clip. And then 3 hours, boom, you can just watch it. And then, okay, it's gone. Now the 3 hours is past. You can never watch that clip again. It's been deleted. Yeah, it's kind of dumb that they didn't do that, but you guys get it now? You get it, Darren? It's a rolling 3 hours. And you can only watch clips recorded in the 3 hours as it's rolling by. But once it's rolled by the clip, you can never watch it again. I know it's the cloud. We already know that. We already went over the whole thing. Ah, jeez. Okay, forget it, man. Forget it. They got it on the cloud, Big Darren. Jeez, it's like, where do these people come from? It's crazy. Let's see. Yeah, maybe she just, didn't update her card or something. Maybe her card expired and she never updated it. All right. Okay, I feel better. I feel like I can't. Now, Sasquatch, Sassy Squatch, I really can't explain it better than that. Do you guys agree? I can't explain it better. It's impossible. Yeah, it's okay. If they, I cannot explain it better. I know what this rolling means. We have things like this in various, like when I was doing Python and we had to scrape something, there'd be like this rolling shit going on. It just doesn't. I know what it means and how it works. Does Comcast have security? Is that what they installed after? I don't know what they... Yeah, maybe they put like an Xfinity system in there. It could be. Hey, Phyllis, did I explain that pretty good using that technique? Come on, I thought that was pretty good. Hopefully they get it now, though. That's how it works. It doesn't have... It's not a rolling 3 hours. I thought that at first when I looked at it, but then reading it again, it's really clear that the time is the rolling portion, not a chunk of 3 hours of video and then it deletes the oldest one first and then keeps going. I mean, it does eventually, it sort of does that because it's rolling, but it doesn't have this chunk of 3 hours that you can always go back and watch, or they would have had a treasure trove of video. They would have had a lot, but every single bit was deleted by the time the cops got there. All right, anyways, let's see if I get some more out of this one.
Telephone numbers, and that's when law enforcement really starts running with these other leads.
I don't know if I have as great a patience as I should if I was a teacher, but it's just...
That from our friends at Fox News. Straight out to Scott Morgan joining us tonight, Professor of Forensics, Jacksonville State University, author of Blood
Morgan.
Beneath My Feet on Amazon, and star of a hit podcast, Body Bags with Joseph Scott Morgan. But tonight, his purpose...
it's funny. One of the people from TMZ was on there, and she just shredded him into... that's when I'm like, okay, go, Nancy, That was pretty good. Because the guy on TMZ was just absolute garbage. Here, let me
and video here.
a second.
It's like, boy, we just coming up. So, or that the FBI, the FBI can dig through here. But Jackson was talking to Nancy, and we've, this. I mean, you've spoken to her much more than I have. But it is always interesting, and she's always going to...
She didn't do that with me when I was on there. She didn't go, refute stuff that I was saying. I felt kind of like almost offended that she didn't come attack.
Really give you the business. Yeah. So here's Jackson's baptism by fire.
He spoke to the effect that his ego, Nanos' ego, could actually be...
And you know what? I've actually said the same thing that Nancy says in here.
The primary reason as to why this case has not been solved. Have you heard anything about Sheriff Nanos and his, how he's conducted this case?
Frankly, sir, throwing stones at Nanos, who obviously is in over his head...
That's exactly what I say. He's in over his head.
...is not advancing this investigation.
I've asked you, said it doesn't help solve the case.
So to ask me to personally attack Nanos, he doesn't need me attacking him. He's stepped in it all on his own.
Well, I think it's a relevant speaking point considering how they did conduct this case. If it was handed over to the FBI sooner, one could make the argument that there would be a higher rate of...
Right, but it's not really, it doesn't, it's already happened, though, you know?
Possibility that we found Nancy Guthrie. So I disagree. I do think it's a relevant talking point.
Well, obviously...
Well, it's not relevant, though. It's not relevant whatsoever in finding Nancy Guthrie.
Your question that you're stating now doesn't match with your last question. You asked me to comment on Nanos' ego. Now you're asking me about major missteps in this investigation. Those are two very different things.
I think you did a good job.
You know
I
what?
think you hold your...
Jeez. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Oh, yeah. As soon as he has that British accent, they sound like they're geniuses. You know? Just like when... I was going to say, when Raven calls it, he's got the... You know, it's sort of like half Aussie, half... it's like, oh, wow. But then as soon as he uses the English voice, man, forget it. You know? All right, where was that thing? Okay, back to this one.
Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, in a lounge chair, like a picnic chair. There it is.
Bitty going to these things, just like you. They kind of follow your lead here. Yeah, blood thinners is something we've talked about in forensics for some time relative to blood deposition. There was a major study that was done on warfarin, which is also known as Coumadin. People are very familiar with it. It's a real old drug.
Yeah, she wasn't mean to me, though. I thought it was like a miracle that she wasn't mean. And I think she had me on there for the... what was it? Delphi? Or I think it was a Delphi case, yeah. You know, I was talking about I think it was something about the path and so forth, people, his vehicle, etc. And I ran through the whole thing, and she never once said, "Oh, come on, Gray, you telling me that..." You know, maybe you guys wish she'd done that.
Guess what? There's no appreciable changes in blood deposition relative to how it presents and whether somebody is actually on a blood thinner. Okay, now back to the blood thinner itself, and we can talk about Mrs. Guthrie's health. Is that is essential? That's essential for her to have, all right, in order to thrive. But if she is bleeding at that moment in time, it's not going to necessarily impact the deposition of blood or change it. Now,
are you still out there, Betty Black? I still like you and everything. I just was trying to explain the rolling time.
What is interesting, though, and I've pointed this out before, and I think that maybe even Bodden had alluded to this at one point in time, with those droplets that you see deposited on that front stoop, he recognized, as do I, that blood appears to be aerated. And the only way you get that is that if it's coming from the nasopharynx area. What does that mean? Well, it means the nose and the mouth. So that's going to have a significant difference in appearance as opposed to, let's just say we get a cut on our arm or on the back of our hand. That blood's not aerated, okay? That means that it doesn't have little oxygen bubbles in it. It just kind of drops away, and you get this kind of dark pattern with the blood. You can actually see serum separating after a period of time, but it's very, very dark. With aerated blood, you'll see little bitty oxygen bubbles contained within there, and sometimes it'll clear out in the center. And I think that that's what I'm seeing based upon I'm roughly basing this upon the quality of that photograph. We have to understand that is not a true crime scene photograph. So the quality is not still up to snuff, but it's what we have to work with. That looks like it came from the nasopharynx area, Nancy.
What do you make of questions?
Phyllis said she was crocheting a thong up above, you guys.
Regarding with her thin skin, and I saw this in my dad, and I'm seeing it now in my mom very often. And there's a photo of Nancy Guthrie sitting outside in a lounge chair, like a picnic chair. There it is. And you can see, especially on her left hand, that's where my dad had it a lot, the blood under the skin. Many people are asking, would the slightest nick, possibly transporting her out the door on her arm or leg or hand, could that have caused the bleeding, not an actual attack like a blow to the face?
Yeah, that was.
I doubt it.
It was like this thing right here.
Lounge chair, like a picnic chair. There it is. And you can see, especially on her left hand, that's where my dad had it a lot, the blood under the skin. Many people are asking, would the slightest nick, possibly transporting her out the door on her arm or leg or hand, could that have caused the bleeding, not an actual attack like a blow to the face?
I doubt it highly. Just looking at the blood deposition based upon the photographs I have to go on, I think that it would have more of a robust, a darker appearance to it. Perhaps if that had originated, say, from the back of the hand. And, you know, as we all know, as we age, our skin and even our vessels become a bit more fragile. That's the reason we have these what appear to be contusions that kind of appear on our skin, appear more robust, and we also get swelling. You can see her ankles, you can see the backs of her hands. So that all comes with aging, Nancy.
Here, I'll tell you what, I'll do a challenge. If you guys do 5 more, I'll donate 5 myself. Now I'm paying. I get to give out 10 at the beginning of the month from YouTube, but now I'll be paying the 25. So if you guys can do 5 gifted memberships, I'll donate 5 myself.
For instance, here
the house, and it got very, very heated, and someone did something, whether it be the daughter or the son-in-law, and Nancy Guthrie died.
No?
They hatched this scheme to call this to make it look like a kidnapping.
Okay, that's disturbing on so many levels. That's from the real
Hey, thank you, Phyllis Watson.
Jim Duffy at TikTok.
You love the way I
but
say
at
that.
least he's thinking through the facts and coming up with this theory. Maybe I'm wrong. Straight out to Dr. Bethany Marshall joining us for.
I think Phyllis is like a Zozo kindred spirit.
Now psychoanalyst out of the LA jurisdiction. She is the author of Deal Breakers, and you can see her now on Bravo as well as Peacock, and find her at drbethanymarshall.com. Dr. Bethany, maybe I'm wrong, but haven't they been cleared? LE said they're clear, they're not suspects.
I dislike when people say LE out loud. Put a 1 if you agree. Don't you hate when people say, hey, listen, I talked to LE today, and LE? Oh, yeah, LE and, no, LE, law enforcement. What the hell are you talking about? Just say law enforcement. You're speaking. LE is when you're trying to type quick. I don't understand that, man. That's crazy when people do that. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman, Jim Lawn, and Phyllis Watson. We need 2 more, and then I'll give 5 myself.
Reportedly passed polygraphs, and their vehicle has been returned. So why? Why is this still happening?
You know, Nancy, of course they've been cleared. Of course it's not the family. This has been going on for some time. But with this TikToker, I see a certain sort of arrogance, a high
Yeah, see, the problem is with these TikTokers, they're just going down the same route as that one who just got creamed in the courts. Do you see that?
estimation of his own beliefs and theories, a low level of regard for critical thinking. I see something called proportionality bias. And what that means is if it's a big event, it must have a big explanation.
LEO.
If there's a tornado, it's because God is mad at us. If somebody goes missing, it's because it's a vast right-wing conspiracy. You know, most people are frightened at the thought that something really horrible could happen to their loved one, their family member, their child, their parent. And maybe it's just random. Maybe it's because there's one or two.
Thank you, Tracy Von Brott. And also, I think you gave a super thanks on one of my videos, yesterday or something. So thank you.
Bad people in the world, not that there's this big, huge theory that makes it all simple and makes it all go away.
What did you call that? What was the term you just used, Dr. Bethany?
Proportionality bias, meaning if it's a big event, Nancy Guthrie going missing, there has to be a huge explanation.
Right, that's exactly right. That's the same thing in the Charlie Kirk case, Idaho 4, Delphi. These lunatics always come out of the woodwork and come up with crazy conspiracy theories. Now people go, gosh, Gray, how do you know they're not? And then they leave and they don't watch me anymore. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay, you can go and spend all your day listening to people like Candace Owens and think she's onto something. She's an embarrassment. Every single day for 2, 3 months, 4 or 5 months now, she says, we're getting really close. Okay, forget it.
The idea that it could be a big event, Nancy Guthrie goes missing, but it's a simple or random explanation. For example, this may sound silly. A new kitty cat I have went missing 5 days ago. I decided that she'd gotten out a window, that coyotes had eaten her, that I was a bad person. I fell into a depression. Then friends and I found that she had just crawled into a little drawer. So my mind, in order to secure myself in that situation, came up with this huge, huge theory that made me feel like, I don't know, somehow in a strange way safer, that things don't happen randomly, other than my little fluff ball just climbed into a drawer and couldn't get out. It was a really simple explanation. I think that's what we're going to find at the end of the day. It's a pretty simple explanation driven by normal human motivations like attachment and greed, and somebody who was...
Yeah, I think she's 100% right there. Hey, thank you guys up there to, we had Phyllis Watson, Jim Lawn, Wild Bill Wassman, Tracy Von Brott, and then we have Michelle H. And then I did the 5, and then we had, look at that, we had dead persons. Dead person. Gifted a membership. All right. Very cool. After we do this part here, maybe I'll put the phone number up there.
Targeting Nancy in a way that's fairly predictable, and we see at all levels of society.
Wow. The way you explained that was very helpful. Also joining me, in addition to Dr. Bethany Marshall, is Brian Fitzgibbons, Director of Operations USPA Nationwide Security. He leads a team of investigators around the world finding and extracting missing people. He is a former Marine and was in her home, and her pacemaker was working. And then there is the porch guy video. That happened. Google does not have a dog in this fight. They did not make that up. He was there around 2 a.m. the night of the kidnap.
147.
Can't fight with that.
Yeah, this theory blows past a number of things that we know to be facts in this case. And beyond the facts that you just mentioned, I think we're all aware, and anybody who follows your show is well aware, that family members are under the highest level of scrutiny from law enforcement when any missing...
I guess we don't know what the theory was that they're talking about.
Person case. Okay, so with all the resources of the FBI, all the resources of Pima County, and we have statements from Sheriff Nanos, from law enforcement, direct from the source, that they have been cleared in this case. I think it's time that narrative can be put to bed once and for all.
I hope, Fitzgibbons, that you and Dr. Bethany are sitting down. You may have to lay down for this. You mentioned the family. Well, Christy at 125-12382 says, I still believe members of the family has something to do with this lady's disappearance. That's why no suspect apprehended. The culprit is right under their noses. And she extrapolates. Right here. Check it out. There's something about those eyes. I see nothing about those eyes that are even remotely similar.
See, I can dig Nancy Grace doing this kind of stuff, too. This is where I'm absolutely on board with their doing. Finally, there's other people doing this. Yeah.
So let me throw this to Fitzgibbons and Dr. Bethany. Have you heard the old story?
Yeah, Nancy Grace she's trashing it, though. She's like saying, look how stupid this stuff is.
About the 5 blind guys asked to describe what is before them, and they feel and feel and feel, and they all describe something vastly different. Why? One is rubbing the elephant's ears. One, his trunk. One, his hoof. One, his tummy. And one, his tail. In other words, they are extrapolating based on the little information they have. So I am not faulting the real Jim Duffy or Christy Kerr. They're going on the little bit of information they've got. They don't have the whole picture. Neither do we.
But they even make stupid comments based on the limited information we do have.
But you know what? I got to give them this much. They're trying. They are trying to solve the mystery. Okay, that said, they're totally wrong, but they're trying. Let's listen to this one. The feds are sneaky, according to the Broken Place TikTok. Listen.
Anybody else keeping up with the Nancy Guthrie? That video.
This is why I can't get watched. You know why? Because people watch idiots like this one right here on the screen. Okay?
Video that came out.
That's more entertaining for people.
Of that door cam. It looks staged, y'all. But the feds are real sneaky. Man. And I have a feeling, I don't know what they're after or what they're doing, but...
Again.
Yeah, exactly. What a joke.
Extrapolating. The 5 blind guys in the elephant. Dr. Bethany, she's seen the porch guy, and she mistrusts the federal government. I mean, who doesn't? Really? That goes way, way, way back. So she's taking those two true facts.
Well, that's what happened to me the other day. And that lady, with, I forget it.
And turning it into, what was that? The FBI director, was that Kash Patel out there on Nancy Guthrie's front porch with a balaclava on? I mean, that you have to follow it through to its logical conclusion. What is she trying to say? That the feds fake this whole thing?
Well, I think what you see here is massive distrust for political institutions, which I think we all share, especially right.
I don't even agree with this. I think that people do this because they want to be edgy and try to get likes and views. Like in the Tyler Robinson case, there's no way in hell these people believe the stuff that they're saying. They just know that that's what their audience wants, so they got to keep perpetuating a lie. That'll be the day that I quit YouTube, is when I'm perpetuating a lie over and over and over again for likes, views, and subs and income. So because I want to get viewed a lot. Okay, I'm just gonna keep doing, telling you what the reality is, how I see it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, Candace Owens is an embarrassment to mankind. She is one of the worst people I've ever seen. I used to like her, sadly.
Now, so there's that, and with the 5 blind guys, they're extrapolating from what they see right in front of them. What if these conspiracy theorists are extrapolating from their own history? For instance, the one who thinks it's the government, maybe she's going through a tax audit. The one who thinks that the family members did it, maybe she had a toxic relationship with the family member. Maybe she had a fight the night before where she screamed at her spouse, "I wish you were dead." So somehow these personal experiences then creep their way into the conspiracies. And I think furthermore, Nancy...
Well, I don't know if you followed that one, Phyllis, but in the Idaho 4 case, there was this one TikTok psychic or whatever the hell it was, and she accused I think one of I can't remember if it was a professor over at WSU, like there was an affair or something, and she just was relentless and wouldn't give it up, and they went to court, and she lost like millions of dollars. So that's how it should be every single time. Somebody, Erica Kirk, Turning Point, it should sue the living crap out of Candace Owens. Literally, just sue her till she's broke and has not another nickel. And I think that's exactly what she deserves. She is a horrible person on this planet. She is a terrible person. That's the truth.
See, all of these TikTokers, I want you to look at their faces when we hear what they're saying. They are so certain that what they're thinking or saying is true, which suggests to me a need to create order in their world,
Delusion.
certainty, certitude, that whatever they're...
This lady's like too nice, you know? She's too nice. She's like trying to make it seem like, no, that's not it, man. They have a nefarious reason behind it.
thinking is true and correct, which leads, as you know, Nancy, to too heavy a reliance on intuition, bordering on I'm psychic and I know better than everybody else because I have some inner little voice that's prompting me forward, but pay no attention to the truth because I mistrust that.
Okay, another one that you and Fitzgibbons may have to lay down for before you hear it, but I warned you. Listen.
So Nancy Guthrie.
Now let's see what this one is.
Do you have any message to Savannah or to...
Oh God, he's got the damn EVP shit going on? Here we go. Let's see. Still a good little buddy. Skipper! Gilligan! I bet that's exactly what he's doing. Let's see.
To your family? And I pray.
You know. This is so stupid. Like if he didn't tell you what it's being said, you wouldn't believe it.
That there's a resolution to this, hopefully one with a happy ending. I don't know that that is going to be the case at this point, but at least closure for your family, okay?
Okay, Mom. What is she gonna say right here?
It's very rare that I can't think of something to say, whether it's completely off point or inappropriate, but that has left me almost speechless. That's from Hope Paranormal on TikTok.
Yeah, like we can say anything. Like, let's say you went like this and went. Oh, I know what it says. I want a cheeseburger gray. Did you hear that? I want a cheeseburger gray. Did you hear that? My God, everybody. We got it. Give me a break. You got to be kidding me.
Gibbons, was he actually pushing a button to make the recording, the voice of Nancy Guthrie, respond?
Yeah.
That looked like a...
By the way, why don't they just sound like the way they sound in real life? Why do they have to come over and sound like that, you know? You ever ask yourself that question?
A kid's metal lunchbox.
I'm surprised that machine worked so well when he wasn't wearing a tinfoil hat while using it. And here's the deal, right? For any of these paranormal researchers and psychics and clairvoyants,
did you hear that, everybody? I want a bucket of chicken. Listen to it again.
they're weighing in on this case. I have a simple message. There's over a $1.2 million reward. If you want to prove to us that your information is accurate, package it up. And
yeah, you know what? Here's a clue, you guys, that this shit isn't real, right? It's an app that you get from Google Play. Okay, did the ghost sign up for it? You know, hey, you know, while I'm up here, or down here, as the case may be, would you send me a link to the app where I can be part of the participants and we can answer questions and so forth, and you know, we can talk to other ghosts, maybe get them to say something.
and send it into the FBI, right? But this nonsense of a noise machine supposedly communicating with Mrs. Guthrie to send a message to her family, it's really disturbing that people are giving this an audience.
Right. I say this all the time. I say this exact same thing. I'm starting to becoming more of a fan of Nancy Grace now because they're highlighting this. This is so big to me. It's ridiculous. I just can't believe it. It's hard for people like me who put out true crime using logic, reason, common sense, the facts of the case, put it together. Nobody wants that anymore. I mean, one of these days I'm going to show up here with a spirit box, a tinfoil hat, the whole 9 yards, freaking one of those gypsy ball things, look into it. I'll have it all dialed in, you guys, and we'll get like 17,000 people a show. It's going to be amazing.
Okay. I'm not giving it an audience. Okay, don't throw me in that pot to stew. I'm saying that those tips, please do not clog up the tip line with that. But there's another level to this, Dr. Bethany Marshall. Not long after my dad passed away, I had someone completely unrelated to me approach me, I believe I was at HLN, CNN at the time, approach me and tell me my father had communicated with them and wanted to give me a business decision, business advice. I'm like, I was polite, I listened.
Unique and actually not.
Where's that other one?
I could
$20%. Could that have $20% for as well happening?
I see something
as well as Peacock and find her. So many
the house
for the other clip,
and it got very, very heated, and someone did something. Whether it be,
for instance, here's one. I pray it wasn't called in. Listen.
Okay, I don't think Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped. The last people to see her alive were her daughter and her son-in-law.
Okay, hey, dipshit. They have her in the middle of the night sleeping with her pacemaker.
Tommaso, the son-in-law, supposedly dropped her off at her home. But what if that didn't really happen? What if
alien spacecrafts
was some kind of an argument at the house, and it got very, very heated, and someone did something, whether it be the daughter or the son-in-law, and Nancy Guthrie died. They hatched this scheme to call this to make it look like a kidnapping.
Okay, so many as well still happening.
She had another girl on there. I'm trying to find
or random in order. It's a
also get everything as well as disturbing. For instance, $8, 20%
that had originated.
Could that have caused the bleeding, not an actual attack like
I don't know where the other one is, but there was some other girl on there that was saying, so the girl said it like this, like, yeah, so somebody wrote that maybe she's slid into another dimension somewhere. And I thought, boy, that's outlandish. But then I thought, what if I'm wrong? How do we know she didn't go into another test? Can you see how these people, it's just sick. And the worst part is there's so many idiots out there that actually watch them. They do well. So I guess who's the idiot? Maybe I am, because I don't sell that shit to people. Good night, Linda Howe, as in Linda Molden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles. Always like having you around, Linda Molden Howe. You always make it a better place. Did you ever notice that? Always so nice and kind to everybody. I don't think I've ever seen you say anything mean in the entire time you've ever been here. Let's see. No, she didn't. hey, Frederick, she didn't play the spirit box. She wasn't believing in it. She was showing how stupid the people were, that she's slamming the people. I think it's great that she's doing that. I think she's absolutely, I think it's awesome that Nancy Grace is doing that. Yeah, it's exactly what she should be doing. She didn't play it to have you believe in something. She was saying how ludicrous it was. Frederick, did you miss that part, or? Love you, Linda Howe, as in Linda Moulden Howe of the cattle mutilations and crop circles. That's so funny. That Linda Howe, the nicest person on the planet, ends up with the namesake of Linda Moulden Howe of the cattle mutilations and crop circles. That's pretty funny. You gotta admit. She got stuck with that one. I don't know what you're talking about, Frederick. You seem kind of out there yourself, you know. Where'd it go? Okay, that was that one. Yeah, I think there's a person that kept typing over and over and over again that because law enforcement was standing right there, this then is where the guy jumped over the wall here and went this way. I think these people are, you know, I don't know if they're investigators or what they are. I mean, I guess anything's possible, but I just don't think that he went over this wall. I think these people might be the people that are putting in the new, I don't know, did that lady have a gun on her? That would make a difference. Right there, it's hard to tell if that's what that was. And they go in here, and then you see them walking around over there. Yeah, I said I got it. Yep. The Karen's PayPal, yeah. Oh, look at this guy also opens the gate there. Yeah, so that guy, and that's the guy that walked out, and I saw that the door, he came out that door, and that's the security door that's open. And then looks like they've moved the pot that was there. So they must have realized, hey, we've got to go check that thing. There's no reason to move that, really. It's not like they're carrying big items out of there. This is pretty good footage right here. Well, okay. Wasn't sure what you were saying up there. Oh yeah, that's Cameron, I think. See, I just think that they're there. And he's probably looking down at the blood right now. That's pretty shitty. Yeah, so look at this is a good way to do this. So I can You know, so maybe he came in like this. Around, and then right through that little gate. And then props open the door, and I don't really know when he made it over to that gate there, but then he goes into the house. And I think, let's see, when you come in that door, yeah, you have to take a right really quick, and then I think you can go this direction. And then somewhere over here, you can get into Nancy's room, and then her bed is like right here. That's where Nancy's bed, you know, I was kind of messed that up right there at the end, but Nancy's bed is right here in the house. Right there. So that means when they got her, you know, whatever the door is, they took her back out and then out the front. And then that car is basically where, you know, a little bit further probably. And then, you know, out and then boom, right into the car and then out of there. It's almost what it looked like. Well, I mean, I thought it's like, I don't know how you could not suspect at the very beginning when they've actually got their car and they're taking pictures and shit inside the home where you wouldn't think like, maybe they do have something to do with it. Because there was nothing that said that they didn't have something to do with it. Yeah, I think that it's reasonable to have thought that, you know, because it's something definitely, you know, something that's reasonable thought that a family member had her, you know, taken out of there for, you know, insurance purposes, you know. But then the argument collapses when you go, well, then where's the body? You got to have a body to get the insurance money. Every single thing you think about in this case always has something that reverses it. Yeah, but, you know, I was never like, oh my God, they definitely did it. You know, I never made a video about it. I never did anything. I just know that they were looking into them, you know. Yeah. Right, well, I hope it doesn't turn out where somebody in the family is part of it later. You never know. But if he did it, he sure fooled Savannah. Yeah, I know. That's the whole thing about the hugging and all that stuff when they were out there is when I realized, okay, they must all know and have been convinced by law enforcement that he has nothing to do with it. That's when I just went, okay, forget it. And that was the same right around the time where Nanos cleared all of them. Actually, that car is almost like exactly in the right spot. Yeah, people had tents and that's crazy. Surprised they didn't bust out a campfire. And yeah. So that truck's exactly in the right. Hold on, let me go back a little bit. Oh. Well, actually, it's a little bit too far back. Let's see where that little plant is. Oops. Yeah, so that tree and that tree are this one and this one. So yeah, I mean, there's that plant there. Yeah, that's almost right in the right spot. It's right here. And I think you can see right there is the end of the driveway. So if you would just pull that up a little bit more. Yeah, I don't think Tommaso's done any creepy things that I've seen. It's maybe what people tell you that they think he's done. I mean, what he looks kind of creepy. Is that it? I don't think I've ever seen whatever this clip is.
Award for information leading to the recovery of her mother, Nancy Guthrie, who went missing from this Arizona home more than 3 weeks ago. And Savannah said on Tuesday that her family is still holding out for a miracle.
See, look how easy it is to
and
get
hopes
through
her
this
mother
gate
will be
here.
found alive, but she also is acknowledging that they realize it might be too late. We were sharing that post here with you once it did come
Push
out
up
on
on it,
social
walk right
media
in.
just the other day. And Guthrie was last seen at her home just outside Tucson, Arizona on January 31st and was reported missing the next day. Authorities believe she was kidnapped, and the FBI released surveillance videos of a masked man who was outside Guthrie's front door on the night she vanished. So as we continue to watch this, we did want to share here with you, we are now seeing some activity outside of the Guthrie home. Award for
All right. Yeah, thanks, Karen. Karen. She got some for the PayPal's for the dogs. By the way, they love those treats that you got. And then we also had a coffee from Sassy Squatch, who had to listen to me explain the rolling 3 hours 17,000 times. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do the phones or anything. I'm tired. Been a long day. I made a video, then a live stream video. Let's see what the video's doing. Has it picked up at all? Is it just sitting there? Sometimes it's really rare when a video does better later. But let's see. Yeah, well, let's see. What's it at? It got up to 2,900 views. And I did get 12 subscribers off of it, but it's already down to 126 viewers an hour, which means it's not gonna do well, you guys. Not gonna do well. But hey, it's better than 0, I guess. Wait, hold on a second. Oh, they're still looking at the deputy guy, this person. He's 6'6". I don't know, let's see. Yeah, I don't know, he looks pretty tall. Yeah, I guess people are still looking into the deputy that we've already looked into. I mean, I looked him up as good as you can look him up. He's only 22 years old. Yeah, man. Have you guys looked at the... I was going to zip around, go over it. Let's go to Iran for a second. And let me ask you guys something. What are your guys' thoughts on... See, I've always said the same thing on birthright citizenship. I wonder what... I mean, I'm not sure why people don't look at it... Like, what... To me, common sense is that one of the parents or somebody that is maybe even a green card holder, that means they show, like, hey, I want to be here... I don't know why we can't look at it like their children could be a citizen. But why should somebody be a citizen? Just, when we came up with this birthright citizenship, it was for a different reason. And now it's being exploited by people. And it just feels like it's common sense to just think to yourself, like at least one parent should be a citizen, or even... you could even go as far as a green card holder, that they're literally here legally in the country because they wanted to be here. I just think it's crazy to have people that are so like, well, because it says it right there, Gray. No, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking, does it make sense to you? You know, for example, if I went over to Germany, or let's say China, for God's sakes, and all of a sudden my wife had a baby, and boom, there's no way in hell they're going to go, wow, you can be a citizen now, even though your parents aren't loyal whatsoever. That's how you end up with the like a true possibility of a Manchurian candidate, where you have two parents who are absolutely not loyal at all. For example, let's say you had two Chinese people come over here, because they actually have an industry over there, where they send you over here and they plop out a baby, and then the baby is a citizen, thus anchoring the parents here. But what loyalty would those two parents have for the United States? Honestly, like, they have none whatsoever. And then they have this child who doesn't even know what loyalty is. And so then you have these parents. Could they be raising? I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense to me. And it's weird. It's not going to, you know, it's just made it to the Supreme Court, and it's not going to pass, you know, or it's not going to be overturned or whatever the hell. And it's just weird how people don't say, does it make sense to you, though? You know? It doesn't. Right, yeah, that's true. Yeah, right, that's exactly right. Before airplanes. Anyways, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I don't have any, you know, I don't have skin in the game or whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm just saying, does it make sense to you? Like, even, you know, like, just in general, I've been saying this for like 30 years, the same thing. I've been going, why is this a thing? You just get to be born here and you're a citizen? And you have these people that have been waiting in line for 20 years, paying all the fees and money to get in there. And then you get born and you're a citizen, and then it sort of links the parents in there, and it's like, I don't know, man. I'd rather have somebody who, and I mean, I'm totally for, I'll tell you what, having the natural born citizen deal be one of the factors of being the president makes the concept of natural born citizen, you know, how it works, more scary and dangerous. Like, just think about that for a second. You have two parents from China, they bring a kid in here, they have a baby, and they're loyal to China, let's just say, and then all of a sudden that kid can run for president at some point because he was born here. That's crazy. That's absolutely lunacy, dangerous shit that people don't seem to really think about. What do you guys think about that? I know I'm not talking about true crime right at this second. But anyways, today when the plane got shot down, the F-15, I had to like pull up this map and I overlaid it, and then it fit right into this spot here. So somewhere inside of here is where that went down. And it's weird. Look at all these 360 degree shots. They'd have no street view there. It looks like I missed the little thing, but it's pretty interesting terrain. Let's see. I think you have to go up a little higher. Maybe to there. There it is, right there. So in this little town, there must be a... Yeah, look at that. So that's what it looks like over there. It's like... and then there's this huge mountain range near the eastern side of it. So when that plane was shot, it's in this... I'm not sure what you call it. Like a... I don't know, it's almost like a province or something, but... And then there's this huge mountain range right over here. See that? That's probably right on an earthquake fault line there. Let's see if there's anything right over near here. Wow. I was actually trying to find it based on the mountain range. The location where the helicopters were. Crazy. Anyways, well, it looks like Mars because I have a red thing over the top of it. See that? It's an overlay that I put there to show the area where the plane went down. It's on the, you know, when you listen to CNN, they say the central Iran, you know, because they want you to make it look like, oh, it's way over there, and it's not even close. Like, here's Iran's this whole place. Central Iran's over here. It's on the western portion over here. You know? Anyways, sorry to bore you guys to death there, but I did want to see what you thought about that birthright citizenship. I mean, I know it's in the Constitution, blah, 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 blah. It's just never made sense to me. Even when I was way younger, I would just go like, what? What does that mean? And I've always said at least one parent should be a citizen for that to take place. I don't know why that's not just sort of like everybody thinks that way. I mean, it's weird. There was A-10, I guess it was shot, and it still landed in the... Yeah, I don't know, they said it landed. You guys ever seen that video with there's this female A-10? That's one of the coolest jets. I always tell people. Like actually, 3 days ago, I had my wife come watch the videos on the A-10 Warthog, because it's just like... it's so amazing. It has this massive Gatling gun, basically, on the front, that holds like thousands of these massive rounds, and they come up and they can take out tanks. I think it fires off like, I don't know if it was 70 bullets a second, and it's like it goes and it just makes this crazy like sound, and there's so many bullets that take out tanks, and they don't go very fast or anything, but they're absolutely like basically, you can call them a tank of the air, you know. Really amazing. They've been around for so long, and they haven't even changed them because they work so well. Yeah, do they take off differently than... I've never seen one. Let's see. A-10 Warthog. They always paint these cool. Yeah, let's see.
Why is it impossible to take down an A-10 Warthog? Let me explain. The A-10 is one of the U.S. Air Force's greatest ever aircraft. For over 50 years, this aircraft has allows the A-10 to...
Let's see. There was this lady pilot, though, and she had half her wing, I think, blown off, and she still was able to land the damn thing.
That they're able to effectively operate safely on a complex battlefield. And we got some great firepower to help them do it. Gout on aircraft, it weighs more than 4,000 pounds when it's fully loaded.
Yeah, they actually, what they do is, you know, the shell casing, so as it's firing, it's still evenly it keeps the shell inside the belt. And even the shells weigh a lot, and so they can't have the plane, you know, the weight, the ballast system off, so it stores the shells and distributes them again so it's nice and evenly balanced. I mean, how crazy is that?
The Avengers magazine holds over 1,000 rounds of 30mm ammunition. Spit out at...
You hear that? That's so awesome.
70 rounds per second.
Yeah, 70 rounds a second. All right, let's see. Taking off. Then there's, I don't think I've seen one. Boy, that's exciting, Phyllis. Boy, that was really exciting, Phyllis. Boy, that was... I'm just kidding. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So, any word on the pilot? Is he still out there? I mean, you would. Here's what you would think, that each pilot would have a transponder on it. Oh yeah, that's sweet. So you can feel it's like a big. Yeah. I'll tell you one of the weirdest things I've ever. You know, there's an air show in Hillsboro, Oregon, every so often. And one time I was golfing at the golf course near there, and they actually, at the air show, had the stealth fighters. And man, we were golfing and they were practicing, and they were right over our fairway just going, I mean, it was absolutely crazy. You can see how freaked out people would be to see the, you know, to look at those stealth fighters. They're just so creepy, like a bat, you know. That's right. Thanks all the people out there that have been in the military that watch the show. I really appreciate you guys. And I think we're doing the right thing, even though it's, you know, it's not great right now for gas prices and stuff, but we did have a good employment numbers that just came out, which is pretty amazing. But I think as soon as this ends, everything will switch right around real quick and be better than it ever was. Yeah. Went to a NASCAR race, and we could... Yeah, I mean, if you watch certain news channels out there, they're just not going to let you know. But, I mean, Iran's been an absolute terror to the entire area, and they were trying to get to a point where they could basically do whatever they wanted by having nukes or, you know, ballistic missiles that were overwhelming. You know, so many of them that they would be able to just say what they want to do, and people would have to do it. But now they've been absolutely decimated. You know, they're trying to pretend, like, by the way, I mean, it sucks that a plane was shot down, but you're talking after, like, what, 4 weeks of this, and you have one plane that's knocked out of the sky, and they go, this is our testing of our advanced weapon. No, it's not, dude. You got lucky. You probably had somebody with a heat-seeking missile fired from over their shoulder, went up in the air, and did that. You know, and it's just is what it is. You know, I mean, I've sort of worried about a little bit of them sort of luring us into the country because they want to make sure to capture some soldier. You know, if they can shoot down planes, they can capture them. But I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're doing. But man, if they've captured the pilot, that makes it way more difficult for doing stuff. That's the part that sucks, you know, about the war part of it. Yeah, Iran absolutely hates our country. They always chant death to the United States, death to Israel, and they're working. They admitted in a meeting that they had enough to build a certain amount of nukes, and you know, it's like, okay, goodbye. Time to go now. Anyways, you know, I know it's not true crime. Sometimes I just have regular thoughts, though, you know. All right. Anyways, I thanked everybody on the non-YouTube side. Then we have Randizzle Randy, Betty Black, Phyllis Watson, gifted 5 memberships there, and then Alley Cake, then Wild Bill Wassman, then Common Sense, then Karen W, and then a gifted membership in a row there, and then we had Carol Silva, Cheryl Bullock, Betty Black, Wild Bill Wassman, Sassy Squatch, who also did the coffee, then Phyllis Watson gifted one, then Sassy Squatch gifted one, then Betty Black gifted one, then Alley Cake gifted one, then Karen gifted 5. Then we have Richard Watts. And thanks, Karen, for all your support there tonight. Then Wild Bill Wassman, Alley Cake, Jim Lawn, Sassy Squatch, Alley Cake again, then Jim Lawn, then Betty Black gifted one, then Wild Bill Wassman, and Phyllis had just done a challenge, so she did 5. Thank you very much. Then Chris O'Connell jumped in there with 10 gifted memberships. Then Wild Bill Wassman, Jim Lawn, then Chris O'Connell with a cat eye. I don't see those very much anymore, those. And Frederick Dame. Then Frederick Dame again. Then Phyllis Watson, Jim Lawn, Wild Bill Wassman, Tracy Von Brott. That's my challenge. Then Michelle H. Then I gifted 5. Then we had Dead Person 3 and Wild Bill Wassman. Thanks, freaks. Appreciate it. You know, I mean, this channel uses logic, reason, and common sense. Yeah, I would say Phyllis Watson and Chris O'Connell and Karen, actually, tonight, you know, were pretty big, made a big difference. So thank you, guys. And then Wild Bill, you're always keeping things moving along when there's nothing. Hey, let me show you guys this one thing really quick before I leave. What is this guy? I want to show you this one bass fishing moment. It's so crazy. It's yeah, Lake Fork guy. He used to be part of the Guggen, and then it's like you got to go to his channel though. Videos. Yeah, I'm not sure how to find it. Shouldn't be too hard though. I used to have a folder with these in them. They're just so crazy. It's just one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And he just gets so pumped up. Oh yeah, maybe if I type in... Will that find it? Ah. That's weird. I don't know. I'm not really sure how to find it. You know? Shoot. Is that it? I think this might be it. Yeah. Here, watch this one. It's crazy.
Y'all, this is insane. My heart is
No, it's one of the best. It's probably one of the best videos I've ever seen. It's got 2 million views. It's so incredible. Let's see. So he's moving his way around. He's already catching these really big ones. But then he finds this one spawning over here. See, he kept catching all these.
Gosh, some nice male fish out here.
But then I think he makes it right over to that thing that you see way over there, that dock. Here, let's see. He's right over here.
Absolute gorilla.
See, he said he kept calling it a gorilla. It was this really huge.
Back, we're gonna make a real long cast.
See, he's trying to. So what it is there's a spawning bass that's huge, and then a male bass that's smaller, and he keeps hooking up the smaller one. And he doesn't even want to catch it. He just keeps flicking it off. You know. Here, just watch this, guys. It's cool.
Oh God, she's up there on it. 8 fishes on it. Is that her? It's a giant. Oh my God. I was looking at the male and he's big. The female is possibly a double digit. Oh my God, this is a giant. Oh God, she just spooked. This is one of those you get one shot at. Oh God, he hit it. I think he's got it.
Yeah, I did. I watched all those shows where he got his brain, the surgery and everything.
He's got it. He does. I want him to drop it. Okay, he dropped it.
See, the one he's getting off is like a 6-pounder. Right.
No, I'll just let a 5-6 pounder go.
Hear that music playing too? It's pretty cool how they. I'll turn off my music. So here you go.
There is a absolute hammer dong, and she is moving up now.
Y'all, this is insane. My heart is pounding. I'm shaking because this fish is so big. I'm locking down the rest of the day, clearing the schedule for this fish.
You ever seen this particular video, Wild Bill?
Oh, he's got it. He's got it again. Let go. Let go.
He doesn't even want to catch the 6-pounder.
Come here, baby. She's on the bed. She's right on it. I gotta get her to bite. That's just... You only get so many opportunities.
I think that might be the one, like, later.
One of these puppies. She's not too skittish. God, he's got it again. He's got it. He's got it. Let go. He's eating it like every time.
Can you imagine passing up on the... Who passed away? What are you talking about?
She is just not reacting. She's staying there, which is awesome. Let's see if something big will get her.
No, he's still out there making videos.
Get her a little fired up here.
Yeah, just watch this though.
Did not.
Oh, it's a joke. He passed away. Okay, I was wondering. Look at that.
I think that's her. Okay, go get her.
Okay, well, here, one more time. Watch it.
Get her a little fired up here.
Listen to how tight the line is on this. Watch it.
Did not.
Well, didn't take that one. Then he throws this out there. Hear the music?
I think that's her. That is her. It's a giant. It's a giant. Oh God. She's got it. It's her. It's a giant. Oh my God. Look at the power.
That's the greatest video.
Oh God, this fish is huge.
Look at this thing.
This is an absolute heathen. Oh my gosh, you're beautiful. She picked up that. Oh God, she picked up my jig with the bandito bug. Oh God, come here. God, you are huge. Absolute mammoth. Mammoth. Oh, come here, baby. Oh, yes. That is a freaking toad, baby. Oh my gosh. That Jay
God,
Andy
that's so
bug. Natural color.
Yeah, that's what's like.
Absolute freaking mondo. Put you in here for a second, honey.
He does this little thing where he sort of,
oh my god,
like,
I'm shaking.
Smells inside their mouth.
I'm shaking. Oh my gosh, that's one of my biggest sight fish ever. Oh my gosh. The male had it 5 or 6 times. I let him go. Finally, she grabbed. I couldn't tell which one. Yes, captured. God, what a gorilla. Not as big as I thought, but I think it's still over 8.
It was actually bigger, way bigger than he thought after he rethought it.
So fat. You can usually tell when they take up the entire live well what's going on. She's just a fat beast. When I saw her silhouette in the water, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Oh, yeah, it's over 10, easily. 10-4. 10-4.
10-5. 10-5.
Let's get a close up on that. What was it bouncing to? This is 10-5. Locked at 10-5. Oh, I was right. That is a double-digit bass, baby. Boom! Yes!
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Don't you remember the one with the, there was also the one with the John B. guy? It was him and his little dark-haired friend. They were out of this really dark, crappy lake. And then that was another, let me see if I can find that one. That one's it was Never Stop Tour. So let's see. I bet Wild Bill's like, man, Gray, I can't believe you watched all those same ones. Hold on a second. It's really cool. Let's see, Never Stop. Yeah, where is that one? It's just so amazing. Yep. Is it that one? It's just like that, though. It's crazy. Might be hard to find, though. These are... Is that it? It's that AP Bassin guy. Yeah, man, it's such a great one. I don't know how to... It's hard to find the... Oh, there it is. Right there, I think. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right here. Check it out. Watch this one. Here, look at this one.
Oh,
see, they've been trying to... There was this huge bass that they were trying to catch all day, right? And they couldn't get it, so they went somewhere else. And then they came back again. And then John B., this guy, he's just goofing around on his phone. And then he goes, ooh, shit. He figured out the technique. So look at it.
Oh my
You
gosh,
have it?
Had it. Had it.
What?
Had it. Oh, I got the style now.
No way.
Swear to God, I had it.
What?
That's so sweet, man. Look at that one.
No way.
The best part is like, it's like, I mean, it's just so amazing. Because watch the whole setup here. Even before he sets the hook, he could see that the fish took it. Watch it. He already had his back, and then boom, right? And then he goes and gets the net, and it all gets tangled up.
Got her. No way. No way.
Look at this.
Here, right here. Welcome to the Never Stop Tour, too.
That's my biggest pass of my life, dude. 100%.
Yeah, that was so awesome. That was like an 8-pounder or something on that one, but I don't know, it was pretty sweet. Who's the one guy that does the? He gets a kayak and he does smallmouth fishing. That's the one he was reeling in really fast. Let's see. I think it's like. Let's see. Forgot the guy's name. That's the part that makes it hard. That's one of the coolest ones I've ever seen, though. Like, he's just out there using topwater frogs, right? So he's reeling in, and he's reeling in, and then he casts out again, and then, you're just kind of near the bank doing the topwater. So then he reels it in really quick, and the thing's making a wake, and then all of a sudden this 10-pounder comes up, just hammers it right next to the boat. And he caught a 10-pounder on, like, reeling in as fast as you can just before you're about to cast again. It was crazy. I forgot his name, though. It's like something kayak or... I don't know. I watch his videos a lot. Anyways. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for hanging out for a couple extra minutes there watching absolute nonsense. Had nothing to do with anything. Nothing related to true crime, anyways. Yeah, they're all YouTubers. There's this one guy, though, I think Greg Blanchard you'd probably like, right? Because he's a legitimate fisherman. He's a YouTuber, but he that's all he does is, like, goes to tournaments and things like that. Yeah. I think Greg Blanchard's pretty good. You ever watch him? He doesn't have as huge of a following as those guys. Yeah, he does. He competes against like 100 people or more, and he's got in the top 10 a lot. He seems pretty good. All right, I'll check that one out. Anyways, thanks everybody for helping. Getting us to the goal again. Very cool. I don't know where that one is. Let me see if I can. Is that it? No. No, that's not it. I don't know. I wish I could find that one. I'll see if I can find it another time. Forgot his name. That's a key. But anyways, thanks everybody. See you tomorrow. And as I always said, until next time, or as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Doom doom doodle doom doom. Send me an email with that guy's name, Wild Bill. Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube, where we talk about true crime using logic, reason, and common sense, and bass fishing. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, be safe out there.